had to drop the second trailer for Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes on the same day that I got an official Coco Renono diagnoso. Can we not? Hi everybody, how you doing? Welcome back, it's you, it's me, I'm Grant, I am with Cornovo Child, and you are my team. So, it's trailer 2 time. Let's deep dive this one and analyze because it's 3 minutes-ish and the last one did so well. We got an hour and a half's worth of discussion out of pure speculation and conjecture. This time, we're not really going to be diving that much into speculation, more so vindication and disproving what we had previously put forth as, our claims, our statements, and by our, I mean mine. I was the one who turned around and said, Axavu Conversara. I'm happy to hold up my hands and say, I was wrong. It is not the Axavu Conversara. Yay! Let's jump in. 3, 2, 1, play. Before you. The one standing in your way. The most formidable enemy. The Ashen Demon.
It's just one Merc.
It's not just one Merc, it's the Merc. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes.
You clearly need every blade you can find, and my pockets have been feeling awfully light lately.
So, Shez. Purple Boy is called Shez. Purple Boy can also be Purple Girl. Shez. He's, she's, yay. We like to see it. Name can be changed. Just like Byleth's name could be changed. We like to see it. But, because I am that individual, I am a sticker and a suckler. Stickler and a sucker, that's it, Cornovo. For canon names, I will be naming them Shez. She's, Shez, Shays, I don't know, he's, she's, he's with a silent S. Anyway.
Lately, what do you say? I need to get stronger if I'm gonna do what I need to.
I like his attacks. 3 paths you can take. So immediately, I'm going to pause it right there, okay. Do you remember our last analysis where we came up with the idea this may be a golden route, and we spent a long time deep diving on this thing and turning around and saying, hey, these characters are all facing away from each other, just like in the original box art, and the weapons aren't crossing each other to signify a conflict? Hey, here's a wacky idea. What if maybe they're forming an alliance? Yeah, yes, but maybe no, but also maybe yes, and we'll get on to that. Long story short, there are 3 timelines. Let's have a look at them. Scarlet Blaze.
Counting on you as always in the battle.
Edelgard's pathway.
Let us walk forward on this path and see where it takes us.
Azure Gleam. Dimitri's pathway.
We are here to fight by your side, your majesty, and so we shall, now and always.
Golden
Someone in the woods
Wildfire.
one night and suddenly you're living under the same roof the next.
Now that's what a battle-hardened mercenary should sound like. Maybe I'll just let you handle all the hacky slashy stuff.
And now we're going to pause it as the hyper beam is decimating the battlefield. I want to take it back and I want to rewind and I want to listen to what they're actually saying. By the way, can we also turn around and say, hey, Dadu, finally, yay, looks awesome. So, Scarlet Blaze and Edelgard go.
I'll be counting on you as always in the battles to come.
I'll be counting on you as always in the battles to come. So at this point, there should already be an established dynamic between Edelgard and Shez, which, if you remember back in the first trailer, we did see what I said was Edelgard talking to Purple Boy. Yep, see, totally said that. Anyways, so we know that Edelgard and Shez talk to each other. We know that they have a dynamic. We know that they have chemistry. That's pause. Hyper beam. And it's dark. It's dark and there's hyper beams. It's dark and there's hyper beams. And these are Alliance soldiers getting hit. Rhea? Why? This is absolutely Rhea. There's no other way around it. This has to be Rhea. Alliance soldiers, though. I wonder why she's attacking them. But the thing is this ties into a theory that I had that Rhea was going to be an obstacle. She wasn't going to be the big bad, but she was going to be an obstacle. You know, with the whole, like, Fight for Ferdiad looking chapter that I said was probably going to be from, like, borrowed. Because, right. Collect your Cornovo brain and pick it up off the floor. Okay. In our previous analysis, I turned around and I made the very bold claim that maybe Fire Emblem Three Hopes borrows elements from each of the respective timelines of Crimson Flower, Silver Snow, Azure Moon, Verdant Wind, and puts them in one coherent timeline here in Three Hopes. As we know now, there are 3 more timelines: Scarlet Blaze, Azure Gleam, and Golden Wildfire. This means that there are now collectively 7 timelines altogether of events. Everything in the Fodlan universe, the Fodlan cinematic universe. We now know that there are 7 timelines. We know for a fact that there are 7 timelines for the same universe because of the fact that Three Hopes is set in the same canon, explicitly mentioned by the developers, as 3 houses. Yay. Okay, so if we're borrowing elements from different timelines, then clearly, at this point, Rhea must have made an enemy of the Leicester Alliance and clawed. Huh, interesting. Which leans into my theory that possibly the 3 house leaders are working together in one of the timelines. Maybe there's a secret 4th timeline, I don't know. Maybe this happens during Edelgard's timeline, I don't know. The devs love to give Edelgard all the focus, but then make her route drastically underrated and short. Calling you out, Crimson Flower, I love you, but my god. Maybe what they do is they all collectively band together to fight Rhea, and then focus on a bigger threat. Now, I do think that there will be some casualties. I also think that Byleth and Rhea might just be the only 2 casualties. We're going to come back to this point, especially the Byleth bit, but for now, let's play. Falcon Knights and Flames, so it's possible that this is all taking place on the same battlefield. Flames line.
This bloodshed, will it never come to an end?
This bloodshed, will it never come to an end? I want to bring forth the idea that, you know, way back in the beginning of the first trailer, Byleth, no, not Byleth, the Yaldabaoth looking woman, you remember who I call Yaldabaoth, that almost false goddess looking lady, you know, Shez's goddess. There's a name for her now. There's a name, a Japanese name, but there is a name for her now. Excuse me, is that a screenshot of Ferdinand goddamn von Ayer? Do not fucking play with me right now. I will lose my collective shit. Where is the goddess's name? You know what, I've got it in a text with my cousin. Arvel, that's her name. Purple Boy's goddess is Arvel, and now, because of how long it took to find that, I don't remember the point I was gonna make. Oh, that's it.
The cycle of this world. I will not allow it to perish with you.
The whole bloodshed thing with Flame. Will the bloodshed ever end? Maybe. Maybe this is a Byleth that's seen all the other timelines, you know, maybe they've seen Crimson Flower, Azure Moon, Silver Snow, and Verdant Wind, and now they're being deliberately demonized to serve as a big threat so that Edelgard, Dimitri, and Claude will all come together to unite against one common enemy before proceeding on to obliterate the true enemy. But there would have to be narratively something that makes sense about Byleth's death or defeat that would then work towards the overall progression for the 3 lords to then become unified. Because if it's the same, this is the thing, not same set of rules, if it's the same narrative, regardless of timeline, but it's literally just different perspectives, that's cool. We're telling one story from 3 different perspectives, kind of like Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. But if it's literally just 3 different timelines where things branch off into completely different directions, like 3 houses, again, I'm cool with that as well. That, to me, is fine. I don't mind either way. But my point is that I'm really curious about the cycle of this world. I will not allow it to perish with you. Considering it's the deep-voiced lady, I'm going to say that she was talking to Shez. Arvel was talking to Shez. Anyways, carry on. Advancement phase. Now, if we look over here, we can see pixelated Anna, and she has an Anna speech bubble. I'm going to say it's an Anna speech bubble because the portrait inside it looks like Anna, because, you know, person, ponytail, it is what it is, it's fine. Merchants will frequent the world map. You can get items from them. This person here, which it appears as though they're playing in the Scarlet Blaze timeline of events, is going to buy some advanced seals, confirms that promotions are happening in the game. We see a couple of class changes as well later. We will touch on promotions. It's going to be fun, don't worry. As we can tell from the borders, it seems to be Scarlet Blaze because just like in the original, the borders indicate what faction you've sided with. If you went with Dimitri and the Blue Lions, you would end up with blue borders, Claude and the Golden Deer, yellow borders, Edelgard and the Black Eagles, red borders. You know, just little attention to detail, it's fine. So advanced seals. So we know that advanced classes, at the bare minimum, are in this game, but we're going to touch on earlier classes like the Monk later in the trailer. Okay, there's a lot to flick through here. Let's do it very quickly. Okay, so they speed right through this on the map, and I guess they do it because of the fact that somebody pointed out, Bradley Drake, thank you very much for pointing this out in our previous analysis, that if you pause the first trailer at a very specific frame, you can see the mentioning of Burgundy territory. Who the fuck is Burgundy? Ain't nobody up in here know Burgundy? I don't know a Burgundy. You don't know a Burgundy. I've scoured that Fodler map several times to find a Burgundy. There is no Burgundy. Anyway, pause immediately afterward. This is very important. Look in the bottom left. There are 4 player characters. Edelgard's level 23. But we can see Edelgard. To the immediate left is Shez. Lower down on the right, we can see Hubert. And if we have a look on the actual weapons, underneath where it says player 2 can join, we can see swords, lances, axes, bows, brawling. The collective umbrella for magics, movement, flight, heavy armor, riding, and what seems to be crest stones, or beasts, you know, maybe transforming units. In other words, perhaps Flayn and Seteth?
I see. In the past, the children of the goddess were all able to change their appearance, just like the Immaculate One. I lost that power long ago.
But let's have a look at Edelgard. Here we have Fortress Knight. That's great. That's great. Fortress Knight Edelgard. So are they working towards getting Pavis? I don't know. I don't care about what they're doing. I'm caring about what I'm going to do. And if you watch our Black Eagles playthrough, you'll know that we put Edelgard in Fortress Knight and we made her work her ass off and get Pavis. Let's focus underneath that. Labraunda. Containing the word brown, the German word for the colour brown in the English language, Labraunda is the name of Edelgard's axe that I previously thought was the axe of Ukonvasara. I am more than happy to say I am wrong. I was wrong. The entire point of speculation is to be wrong. It's just nice when you get something right through sheer guesswork and conjecture. Again, I am wrong. It is not the axe of Ukonvasara. It is the new sacred axe, Labraunda. So, immediately afterward, Shez, level 23, with a star at the side of the new class, Flagel. Look at the sprite. It dual wields swords. Throughout this trailer, in the artwork for the last trailer, we saw Flagel, Shez dual wielding swords. The Swordmaster cannot dual wield swords. I'm trying to think of some other classes. Mortal Savant does not dual wield swords. Look, I could sit here, I could try and list them off. You already know. Okay, basically, this one is the only class that holds 2 swords, 1 in each hand. Right, okay, it's new, whatever, that's great, nice. Flagel, new class, it's great. Golden Star, it may have been mastered. If it's been mastered, they may have gotten a new combat art, or they may have gotten a new ability. And speaking of combat arts on the next screen, combat arts or magic. First, we need to have a look at the top. Set equipment. Set abilities, change class. You can choose, if we're having a look over here on the left hand side, what combat arts or magic or weaponry you would like to put onto your character. This is divided up into the following topics. Combat arts and magic on the far left, followed up by swords, lances, axes, bows, brawling, confirming the presence of brawler units and brawler classes, as we already knew from the one scene where Claude was fighting a king of beasts, what seems to be at Deirdre the aquatic capital. We saw that there were brawler gambits, or brawler units, or brawler NPCs that you could just mow down. And of course the universal magics. So instead of it being divided by reason and faith, it seems to be one collective magic set. Here's something that's interesting about Flagel. Okay? For a sword class, it seems unusual to me that it can wield magic. But if you have a look, the Blizzard and the Nosferatu, if they couldn't be wielded, should be greyed out. But they're not greyed out. There's Wrathstrike and Grounder, which we knew about. We knew about the existence of those combat arts. Flash Strike, Shadow Blade, they seem to be new. Wind Sweep, we knew about that one. Fire Sweep, this is new. Blizzard and Nosferatu, that's okay. That's great. We like to see it. We also get Might, and we get, cooldown times for the combat arts, so you cannot spam combat arts, it seems. And they also seem to cost durability, which is also great. We like to see it, as well as the area of effect that the combat arts take place in. The blue square represents where our character is stood. The yellow squares are the targeted area of the combat art. Don't ask me about the skills that are associated to these combat arts, I am not sure. Fire Sweep and a fire symbol, maybe it does fire damage, sets the terrain on fire, anyone who goes into that space is burned, starts losing health. I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. Maybe. Anyway, set abilities. That's going to be putting on the skills or abilities for your characters. Change class, you know, just like in your reclass section for like your inventory, you can change your classes, like how we do a lot of flip-flopping with Hubert in our Crimson Flower playthrough, because, you know, we have a lot of classes unlocked for him, so we bounce him through Warlock, Dark Mage, Dark Bishop, you know, Mage, so that we can get Fiendish Blow, Poison Strike, Life Taker, and of course Bowbreaker, because, you know, yay, powerful. We like it, we like to see it, we like character building, we like skill building basically, and it seems as though, and I was hoping for this, it seems as though Three Hopes is going to continue with the character flexibility and progression that Three Houses had, but they're going to do it in a Warriors style game, which I am ecstatic about. Let's carry on. Pause. Okay, so we can see battalions make a return, which is great. Now, Battalion, Empire Duelists, talented duelists who fight for the Empire. This is not what we care about. We do not care about this. This is flavor text. This tells us who they are, what they do, what faction they fight. I don't care about any of that. I care about the mechanic, which is right underneath. Resist Axes Level 2. Grants 1 tier greater advantage against enemies equipped with axes. Reduces damage from them by 45%. It would not be remiss of me to turn around and say that Resist Axes Level 3 probably exists. And if they're going to follow the whole level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like for instance, Reason level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or Swords 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, whatever, that, you know, level 3 would probably be 50%, and it would be like, I don't know, the halfway point, and then there'd probably be like a threshold of, I don't know, probably 75, 80% at like level 5, just as a bit of speculation there. Mechanically, it's cool. Authority level B, very nice. So, Shez the Flagel can get any gambit from E rank, D rank, C rank, and B rank, because they have the B rank in authority. Okay, next. So we've got, here we are. Monica. Right. First of all, for the record, I would just like to say that I am vindicated. I have never been more vindicated in my life. I would like to just thank my virus for fucking up my throat. Otherwise, I would absolutely be screaming into this microphone and yelling at all of you basic bitches who doubted me. I'm right. It's Monica. So she's level 6, she's a mage. This explains why she could use magic in that first trailer, because as we saw, she threw fireballs and it was great, and I was like, oh, is she a trickster? Is she a mage? Is she a thief? Is she a mortal savant? What class is she? You know, and we spent 10 minutes on that entire segment. Well, she's a mage. Okay, cool. She's using a new sacred tome, Windcaller's Genesis. Who was the Windcaller? The Windcaller was Saint Macuil. If you did not play the Golden Deer timeline and you did not do Claude's Paralogue, you will not have ever met the Windcaller. The Windcaller is the uncle of Flame, the brother of Seteth, and the brother of Indek? Indek. Yes, because Seteth is Keyhole. Got ya, okay. Sethleen is Flame. Indek is the giant turtle from Linhart and Leonie's Paralogue. Macuil is the Windcaller from Claude's Paralogue. Anyway, so, Windcaller's Genesis. Maybe, just maybe, this item has an effect that is boosted by someone who has the crest of Macuil, which would then explain why those who slither in the dark wanted Monica and stole her away, captured her. Maybe, just maybe, just maybe, this is the real Monica and not actually Kronya. Wow. Adjutant Guard. The adjutant system in this game seems to work exactly the same as the pair-up system of Fire Emblem Warriors, in that if an enemy attacks you when you have a full guard gauge, your adjutant will immediately jump into block. We like this. Mow down some enemies, build up your attack gauge, as we can see down here at the side of Claude, build up your guard gauge. If someone attacks you when you have a full guard gauge, your adjutant will immediately jump in and block. You can also then command your adjutant to jump in and attack the enemies that are right in front of you. You can create open opportunities, you can make a stun gauge appear if you have, like, you know, the weapon advantages of stuff. It's great. Claude gets hit, but obviously because Claude is adjutant, Claude does not take damage. Base phase. Explore the encampment. Train with allies. Pause. Right here. A. I'm going to guess this is their support rank between Edelgard and Shez, where we can see Edelgard appears to be in her Armored Lord class, possibly, and Shez is in his Flagel class. 3 stars each. Maybe there was a budding talent, hidden talent, whatever you want to call it. I forget what its actual name is. I think it's a budding talent, where you spend so much time doing a particular activity that you then develop a particular proficiency for it. You unlock a hidden skill and or combat art, like for instance Edelgard, Reason, Black Magic Crit plus 10, Felix, Reason, Black Magic Crit plus 10, Balthus, Reason, Black Magic Crit plus 10, Ferdinand, Heavy Armor, whatever the fuck it was. I think it was Heavy Armor for Ferdinand. I know it was for Hilda, I think. Anyways, so they seem to have mastered their classes, and they've gained support points, and they're already an A rank. Nice. Immediately, next screen, Class attained. So there's been a promotion. And as we can see from this outfit, I nearly called him Flagel. Too much Attack on Titan does that to a bitch. Anyways, Shez is now a sword master. Immediately afterward, we can see Shez is a monk. This is one of the beginner classes. This is probably the first magic class that you will promote into if you are pursuing magic powered characters. And then either Cavalier or Paladin. I'm going to say from the ass cheek armor on the horse that this is a Paladin. If it is, yay, I'm right. Woo, vindicated. I'm probably wrong. I will double check just as a cross-reference. I think it's Paladin, which means that it's another advanced class. And then he says, another tool in the belt, which I'm going to guess is going to be a voiced line. Then we get the goose, the unholy abomination that is the goose. Lorenz Hellman Gloucester. Okay, and he says, I could not possibly entrust you to work with such... This is what happens when you have COVID, I'm sorry. I could not possibly entrust you with work such as this, Claude. I shall take care of everything. So I can't wait to hear Mr. Diskin come back. And I also can't wait to hear Mr. Diskin come back as Caspar, because Rock the Caspar was such a cool character. Okay, right, but Lawrence is here. I will say, I like his fringe. I like Lawrence's fringe, but that's the only thing about Lawrence you will ever hear me say that I like. He is still a goose. Yay. Anyway, we see Shez crouching down, doing, this must be like menial tasks, kind of like the, I'm gonna guess from this, it's like, you know, the stable duty, the weeding, the skywatch. I'm gonna guess it's like that. And it's like, we've set Claude and Lawrence to work on this. Just guessing. Immediately afterward, Mercy. Oh, I love this. Thank you very much. And we're eating. So are we restoring motivation? I'm curious. Mercedes and Dimitri, that's great. By the way, short hair Mercy, the queen. Long hair Mercy, the queen. Medium hair Mercy? Hello, best girl. Hi, hello. The bridge between the two, like, it's so difficult to improve upon perfection, and I will forever be a short hair Mercy stan, but my god, this design is beautiful. Thank you. People who are fans of longer hair Mercy will be very much happy with this design. Will be very happy with this design. Look, okay, they will be ecstatic. And then we see Shez running around in the base camp, which we can see that it's adorned with Black Eagles, flags and adornments, we'll call it. I don't know what they are. Posts? Yay? ... question mark? Anyway, so this is obviously the Scarlet Blaze timeline. Okay, now this is where this trailer gets so chaotic, so we're going to break it down verbally first, before we revisit it. But before we do, I need you to step into my office for a hot second, and I need you to listen to this music, because... Okay, right. Go.
This world cries out for change, while you keep it shackled to the past.
We can finally avenge all of those who have fallen.
Am I gonna be next?
You were the cog that was missing from the turn wheel. The one final push that urged me to act.
Trust me, no regrets here.
I'm the closest ally you have. Remember, we're partners in destiny.
First of all, that is a remix of Between Heaven and Earth, or it could be Blue Skies in a Battle. You know, whichever, it doesn't really matter. But it's absolutely the Field of Gronda theme, and I will die on my hill alone with a rake in my rectum if this footage just exists and nothing comes of it. I will shit in anger if nothing comes of this footage. This exists for a reason, I am sure. Carry on.
This world cries out for change, while you keep it shackled to the past.
Who are you talking to there, Claude? Who are you talking to there? I'm very curious. My nose is very blocked. Narratively, it doesn't make sense if he's talking to Edelgard. This world cries out in pain, you keep it shackled in the past. Is that what he said? Cries out for change. Okay, cries out for change. Okay. But you keep it shackled in the past. We have to rule out Edelgard immediately because Edelgard's entire goal is get rid of the church, get rid of the nobility system, instill a system where everybody rises and falls by their own capabilities and merits. It's just awesome. Do you know what? This is the thing. You can spend so much time demonizing and hating on Edelgard. When you play her pathway, you're like, no, she's got a point. So I'm curious as to who he's talking to here, because I don't think it makes sense for him to be talking to Dimitri either. Next line. Wait, what if he's talking to Rhea? Which would explain why she's firing the hyper beams at the Church of Seros soldiers earlier in the trailer. Oh. Which would lead to the whole idea that maybe Claude and Edelgard are going to start working together to attack Rhea, which would lead into the whole idea that Rhea may just be one of the casualties of this war. Oh shit, rewind to Dimitri's line.
We can finally avenge all of those who have fallen.
Typical Dimitri shit. By the way, him swatting away that dark magic splodge ball miasma. We'll call it miasma. It looks like miasma. Him swatting away the miasma single-handedly. Whew, cresta bladed. Please, choke me, sir. Hi.
Am I gonna be next?
You were the cog that was missing from the turn wheel.
You were the cog that was missing from the turn wheel. The missing piece to a bigger picture, perhaps? It's also worth pointing out that Edelgard has her back facing Dimitri here before she runs off in the opposite direction with a very angry look on her face. Her quarrel at this point, her focus shifts from Dimitri. Her entire objective shifts from Dimitri here. And she's chasing someone or something, and we can see a little bit of black. Maybe it's someone from Those Who Slither in the Dark, but maybe it's also specific to the Scarlet Blaze timeline of events. A mercenary who was meant to fade from the pages of history. We will get round to this. We will get round to this. We will get round to the text.
The one final push that urged me to act.
The one final push that urged me to act. Maybe, just maybe, this is less directed at Shez and more so directed at a reunion with Byleth.
Trust me, no regrets here.
I'm the closest ally you have.
Pause. This is a very interesting set of lines here. I'm the closest ally you have. Remember, we're partners in destiny. So, Shez and Arvel, that's it. I wanted to call her Arlo then, but that's not Arlo. Arvel, Japanese name Arvel. We don't know her English name yet. So Shez and Arvel seem to be really, really close. And looking at the press releases on the Japanese site, you can see that Arvel saves Shez very early on in this story. The same way that Sothis saved Byleth. So Arvel and Sothis are absolutely parallels for their respective hosts. But looking at this background, they seem to be talking, like, Arvel and Shez seem to be talking either in, like, one of those weird trans-dimensional fluxes, or it's at nighttime. Anyway, let's rewind it back. Let's take a look at the text this time. Challenge the Ashen Demon, a mercenary who was meant to fade from the pages of history. So either we can look at that as a collective sentence and say that Byleth was the mercenary who was meant to fade from the pages of history, or we can reverse engineer it, break it down into two parts, and say that Shez was a mercenary who was meant to fade from the pages of history, meaning that Shez was never meant to exist in the first place, but somehow does now. Interesting. Also, it's worth noting while I've got it on screen, you can see a hand being extended out to Felix. Look at the glove, it is white. Look at the coat, it is light blue with golden buttons. There is only one character who is even close to Dimitri who matches that description. Rodrigue Achille Froldarius. Let me rewind through this trailer to the point where I see Hubert again, and oh my god, I see it. Okay. We see Hubert with his hand extended, and we can see hair. Orange hair. With red outfit with silver pauldron on the shoulder. There is only one character who matches this description. Ferdinand von Ayer. Now, if you already know anything about me, You know that Ferdinand von Aegir is the GOAT. He is the best boy. He is the absolute apple of my eye, the love of my life. Ferdinand can get it anytime. Carrying on with back to where we were. So, the hand that was extended out to Dimitri, okay?
Am I gonna be next?
You were the cog that was missing from the turn wheel. The one final push that urged me to act.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally met. We have finally gotten to see. We finally get to see a physical being. Holst Goneril. We get to see Holst Goneril. For the longest time, I characterized that Holst would have pink hair. It made sense to me. I was hoping he would be a strong, thick-armed, thick-legged badass who would wield, he would be himbo, he would wield either an axe or he would be a brawler. Instead, we see him with a sword. I'm not mad about that. He has a butt chin, and he is fighting someone with light blue hair who is very clearly a war master.
Trust me, no regrets here.
And we know that that's Holst because on his cape you can see the crest of Goneril. But look at who he's fighting against. Someone with light blue hair and a war master. Who had light blue hair? Caspar. What was Caspar's father? Count Bergles. But what was his job? Minister of Military Affairs. What do we know about Caspar's father? He's a very, very, very scary, strong man. He's a very scary, very strong, very powerful man. Caspar's canon promotion goes through like fighter into brawler, into grappler, into war master. So it's not out of the realm of possibility to assume that this is Count Bergles. This dude looks old enough to be his father. This dude also looks scary and strong enough to be Caspar's father. It makes sense. Yay. Okay. Was there anything I was missing? Yes. If we rewind it back, actually, to the weird wyvern riding dude, this new face. Hi, hello. First of all, you're riding a wyvern. I think you're Almyran. You have a very similar skin complexion to Claude, almost, and I think it's the way that the sunlight's hitting you that makes you seem a little bit whiter. A little bit lighter than tan complexion, like Claude has. I think he's related to Claude, you guys. The hairstyle looks similar to Claude's. The hair colour definitely looks similar to Claude's. I'm hoping this is Claude's father. I'm hoping this is the King of Almyra. I'm hoping Claude might actually have his real name, Khalid, bespoken. I'm hoping that this guy might just call Claude Khalid. Yay. So, let's carry on. Holst versus possibly Count Bergles.
I'm the closest ally you have. Remember, we're partners in destiny.
Fire Emblem Warriors, 3 hopes, and my throat is gone.
Gonna be one hell of a fight, especially if the Ashen Demon is here. Don't like a smidge of what I've heard about that fella. Or was it a woman?
I like that we get to choose between male and female Byleth for who we want to fight against. So we flip our entire perspective. So it seems as though we don't get to play as Byleth, but instead we fight against Byleth. Narratively, why would we fight against Byleth? Maybe the theory stands up that this is Byleth who's seen Crimson Flower, Silver Snow, Verdant Wind, Azure timelines, and understands that in order to save as many people as he can, they can, what they have to do is become the enemy that unites all 3 houses. You know, kinda basically a Code Geass situation. You know, become the bigger threat, unify everybody. But maybe, just maybe, we also get to recruit Byleth. And if we do, I really want to recruit them, save them. Male Byleth, please, thank you. Broken armor, please, thank you. Getting my bussy, please, thank you. What? And that is the trailer. My throat's dying, I need to go and look after myself. Take care of yourselves, please. And I will see you very soon. Catch you guys later. Goodbye.